40 minutes, that's plenty. You're live. You just said you're live.
Hello, YouTube.
Yeah. What's happening, YouTube? There's nobody on YouTube yet, so this is for the people that watch the stream after the stream is completed. The audio is recording, and we're good to go. Hello, everybody. Welcome to The Final Plan, the show each and every Friday where James and I discuss what we're going to do for this upcoming game week. Game week 18, the one we've been waiting for a little while. Liverpool's blank is here. All set, or you made your transfers early this week, right?
Yeah, it would have to be some serious injury news for me to make any further changes. I made a move very early in the week to trade out Andrew Robertson for Diego Rico.
So you're one of the people that are responsible for his 0.1 price drop this week.
Mr. Robertson, well, yeah, it was going the other ways. And by the way, I might well be wildcarding after the game week starts tomorrow, and I might be launching Andrew Robertson straight back in. I haven't had a game week when Liverpool have played without Andrew Robertson since before the start of last season.
I'm the same.
I had him 38 game weeks last year. I've had him from the start of this season. But I left him on the bench last week, so I heard he went back.
Yeah, I did see the Twitter account that does leak the teams, but he said he's stopping leaking the teams.
Rockstar, he said he's going to get pinched or something. So, but he did some great stuff for the community, in fairness.
Anything else? No, that's it. One transfer and that's it.
See, the thing is, right, I've got 5 million in the bank. And my circumstances are a little bit unique here because, as I said, anything that I do, I'm probably reversing tomorrow. So anybody I'd be buying in would be literally punt for tomorrow. I'd have to take a -4 to do it. And therefore, I would need, if it's defensive, a clean sheet. And the person I'm selling not to have it. And for an attacking player, essentially a goal. And the person I'm selling not to have it. As General correctly pointed out on who got the assist earlier in the week, like for those who we did a people's poll on Monday about potential free hit. I don't know where you go here because every single one of the fixtures, in my opinion, could go either way. I was going down the bookies and trying to put an accumulator on the Premier League this weekend.
Yep.
I could look at them all through now and I go, Everton could beat Arsenal, Villa could beat Southampton. Bournemouth, yeah, I'd say I personally fancy Brighton to beat Sheffield United. I think Palace might win at Newcastle. I think Wolves might win at Norwich.
They're all mites.
I fancy City to beat Leicester. United look like they've got the best fixture on paper away to Watford, who have a new manager. The whole community seems to think that Spurs are going to beat Chelsea this weekend. I'm not so sure. Perhaps that's the pessimistic fan in me, but I think Chelsea will change system and it will be more difficult for us. So I really don't know where to start. You can look at me. You've got to bear in mind as well, like whoever I take out, I've got Dale Stevens sitting as first sub at the moment. As my non-playing insurance substitute, if you want. So anybody I bring in, they've got to haul on this week better than what I've got. So I've got Tom Heaton in goal, back four of Kelly, Lundstrom, Chilwell, Rico. Midfield three of Cantwell, De Bruyne, Zaha. Up front, Jordan Ayew, Vardy, Captain Rashford. Now, obviously, there's a few there you can look at, say, Chilwell, Cantwell, Ayew, and obviously include Dale Stevens in it, where I could upgrade to any one of them seriously. Chilwell doesn't feel worth it because I think any upgrade I made, say if I went off Dale Stevens, I'd probably leave Chilwell as first sub. And I can't propel the money up because he's quite an expensive defender anyway. I bought at 5.6.
Yep.
But let's say I want to go to Stevens to Son's, obviously very popular at the moment. So then I've got to be sure that Heung-min Son is going to score 4 more points effectively than Ben Chilwell. Have I got any certainty on that? Is it worth the -4?
Not this week.
And I think for me as well, where this is probably a little bit different, I got in the player that I knew I would captain last week in Marcus Rashford.
Yeah.
So I think where I would say, like, do it would be if you're looking at a similar situation to me and you went, yeah, I want to get Son in and I'm going to captain Son, then I think, yeah.
Because with the doubling up,
take the -4 still if you were going to wild card tomorrow. Now, the majority of people who have probably used their wild card, it's different circumstance. Yeah, if you're in that position, you've got 5 million in the bank, take the hit for Son or Ali with good fixtures afterwards, because then you're not just playing it as a one-game system. So I think I'm done. I'm out, essentially.
And then we'll be hearing all about your wild card next week.
Yes, I'm almost certainly doing it tomorrow because it's the better fixture swing than game week 20, in my opinion.
Fine. I haven't made any transfers yet this week. I've been very good at leaving it quite late this year. I just like to mull it over, and then the picture becomes a little bit clearer. I already knew that Moose was on his way out, Moose, and I've made the decision to bring in Neil Mopay in place of Moose. I think he'll be all right for a little while. I do want a little bit of a differential. Looking at my back line, right? Lundstrom, Kelly, Rico, Robbo, and TAA. Most other teams that I've seen have at least 3, if not 4, of the same defenders. I've got Kevin De Bruyne that everybody has, Son, whose ownership is creeping up, Maddison, who's creeping up, Vardy, who's creeping up. Oh, well, not creeping up. He's already through the roof. So much of my squad is template now. But then I've got Pulisic, who's a little bit different, Jimenez, who's a bit different, and Moose, who's different. I want to keep 2 or 3 slightly different players in there. So Moose is on his way out and Mopay is in. That's done. Followed by probably Pulisic out, Richarlison in.
Okay.
And then that's good. I've got 2 free transfers. Then I'm good. Still leaves me with a completely inactive bench in Trent, Yarmolenko, and Robertson.
How's Yarmolenko still hanging around?
Yeah, he is hanging around a little bit too long. What will happen next week, as soon as the game week's kind of done, is that Yarmolenko will go and Fleck will come in. That will give me enough money to turn Jimenez into Rashford, because Jimenez is going into then City and Liverpool. And then they have got on paper easy fixtures, but they've also got fixtures against teams that are fighting for their lives here in Watford, Newcastle, Southampton straight after that. And then they go into Liverpool, Man United and Leicester. So I don't feel I'd rather take Rashford than Jimenez. So I'm happy to get rid of Jimenez for the short term, because that's a hard run with a bit of a funny sticky in the middle, followed by a hard run. So he'll be gone. For Rashford. And at that time, yeah, I bought in Fleck, and that will actually leave me enough money, maybe possibly, to get rid of Tom Heaton and bring in Flappy Hansky. If I make that move now, I have enough money. Whether or not I'll have enough money in 2 weeks, I don't know.
Did you end up with Tom Heaton as well?
Last week.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah. When I got rid of Edison. That went
well.
Yeah, it didn't. But it was always a longer term plan anyway.
Yeah,
but in the new year, I'll get in. So I've got 2 moves this week, 2 next week when I'll take a hit, and then Fabi will be after the Leicester game, which will be game week 19, 20, 21. And then I'll be fairly settled with my squad going into the new year, and I'll have another wild card in my pocket should I need it. The armband's on Jimenez this week away at Norwich. I don't think it's going to be so easy, but I am sticking the armband on him. But I heard that who's injured for Norwich at the back?
Godfrey is doubtful.
Yeah, Godfrey. Sorry, our friend Mark, who's on the live stream,
which would be a real blow for them, because obviously Zimmerman's come back, and it has made a difference with them not having to play sort of Amadou in at centre half. Zimmerman and Godfrey, although not world beaters at centre half, just give them a regular pairing and a little bit more stability. It looked particularly better in away games, ironically, actually, defensively. It would be a blow if Godfrey missed out.
I know your answer. I know what your answer is going to be to this, but I will ask it because I am still on the fence on this. Pulisic to Richarlison this weekend. 5 blanks in a row for Pulisic. Last game hauled off at 64 minutes.
See,
away at Spurs.
I've said several times during the pods this week that my opinion is that I think Pulisic might get left out on Sunday at Tottenham, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I think he's at risk of it as well. I think you're alone. You're probably a minority,
but then
alone.
Look at it on the other side and go, okay, so it might be a 1-pointer this week. But then if he doesn't play Sunday, he'll almost certainly come back in for the midweek fixture, which is Southampton at home.
Yeah. Having said that, Richarlison's clearly got the better fixture this weekend at home to Arsenal.
Yes.
Than away to and Everton's fixtures are a bit up and down, but they're generally okay.
I think Everton are walking into a better run. I think we're naturally seeing and uplifting them. They did well to stay in the game Wednesday night against Leicester in the Cup. Lost on penalties, but from 2-0 down, they stayed in it, kept the crowd on side and that. We don't really know what Ancelotti's going to do. I said the other day that generally, and I think if that's the case, you might see Richarlison OOP playing out front, but there's a wide-held opinion that he's more threatening from a wide position anyway.
Yeah, I mean, he's always been reasonably consistent for the price. Last year, he was good value, 6.5. He started at the knee. This year,
I don't hate that move for Richarlison.
For Pulisic, and then I'll hold him through for a little while, and let's see.
I think Pulisic owners have been pretty unlucky.
Yeah,
like statistically, comes out quite well.
He does.
Bugger. I think those who've gotten after sort of the hauls have been a little bit unlucky. From my perspective, I'm happy that I obviously didn't go in, but it was a fear for a while, right, of not going with it.
That's me, Lee, and Andy. Let's talk FPL. Lee from Family and Andy. We all three did it at the same time. I think Lee's already jumped off. Andy's jumping off this week, and I'm jumping off this week. Which means you know what's going to happen, don't you? Fucking hat trick for Pulisic.
As long as it's not this weekend.
Well, it might well be this weekend. So I'm set. Yeah, I'll probably be making those two moves this afternoon because we have our work Christmas piss up tonight. And I'm not leaving nothing till tonight and nothing till tomorrow morning. I'm going to be done and dusted by the
The deadlines over the Christmas period are all 11:30 in the morning. So you've got Saturday, as in tomorrow. These are UK times, obviously. You've got Wednesday, Boxing Day. Then you've got the Saturday again.
Thursday's Boxing Day.
Boxing
Wednesday's
Day.
Christmas dinner day, mate.
No one cares about Christmas Day.
It's the greatest day of the year.
No, it's not. Boxing Day is. Boxing Day, 11:30 Thursday, then Saturday, 11:30, and then New Year's Day, which I believe is a Wednesday.
Yeah. 11:30
a.m. They are all 11:30 a.m. deadlines. So there shouldn't be too much confusion involved.
No. Fairly straightforward. Get up in the morning and get it done. But
get it done or get it done the night before.
With these tight turnarounds, this is the one time a year that I don't mind people making transfers early, just rather than do what I do, which
probably
is
a little bit.
Miss the deadline.
One of the things I've heard people saying on a few pods this week is like the idea of obviously there's a few people who've still got, but the majority of people still got their wild card are going to be using it going into game week 19, which is obviously the Boxing Day deadline.
Yeah,
and there's a little bit of fear of, oh, what am I going to do Christmas Day? Am I going to get drunk? And my take on it is, Spurs are playing at home on 12:30, so there's no danger for me on Boxing Day. I might even live stream in the ground and announce my wild card pre-kickoff.
Nice. We've got Scott Speed on, who says, Willem's captain, is it too differential? I think this week I've titled this show, The Rise of the Differential Captain. You're not into Star Wars, are you?
Not really.
It's the Rise of Skywalker. So,
right, so this is the rise of the differential captain.
And that's the highlight of my weekend this week because West Ham are not playing. So 11:40, I will be watching Star Wars.
You're never going to get a job in the tabloid newspapers, mate, with them headlines.
Nah,
we need to work with you on that. I think captain, go on.
And we've got Elliot saying, "What's a good overall rank?" Now we'll come back to him.
Don't worry about it.
Captain, go with whatever you want to. Who do you think is going to score the most points?
The rank matters at the end of game week 38.
Correct.
Right now, anything the top mill's okay.
I've seen people in the last, like we talked about Ali FPL Gaffer when we did the 30 and 30 2 seasons ago, really fell away, and other people that really rise up.
What's your rank currently?
980 something.
See, you're doing all right.
Yeah. I'm not worried about my rank actually. Sorry, I'm 1.05.
I think this is going to be a low scoring game week. Because I think a lot of people are going to end up with very similar teams that are very template-y. I think there's so many of us who have that Lunashul, Chelsea, Rico trio defensively. They could all clean sheet, they could all return, and they could all absolutely bomb. I think if they bomb, you're looking at a very low-scoring game week. I wouldn't be surprised if average is sort of low 40s, you know? And I think the single most important decision this weekend is your captain rather than what you're doing with transfers. If you have a good captain this game week, it's going to be the first real split for a while with Leicester being away to Man City and Liverpool not playing. If you get your captain right this game week, you will have a good game week.
Yeah.
The rest will take care of itself. And that's why I'm personally not prepared to take a hit when there's nothing obvious for me. Things, leaving 5 million in the bank goes against everything that I would preach.
Yeah,
I think right now it's the right decision for me.
Okay. Differential team. Who's gone over 10%?
Who's gone over 10%?
Yeah, that we have 20%. Sorry, that we have to sell.
There's no one we have to sell, mate.
Fine,
That's
happy
okay.
days. That's one positive there.
I sent you some shots, Serge.
You did indeed.
So we're not in the best position. We didn't have a great week last week. I mean, we finished on 40 odd.
37 -4.
We took a -4 because unfortunately we had to sell Son. And we got Roberto Firmino in and captain who didn't return. We also got Anthony Martial in who blanked. We're in a position now where we've got a few problems, i.e. the bus team I've got set up at the moment has got Aaron Connolly in it from Brighton, who I don't think will start this weekend. We've also got, obviously, Firmino doesn't play, Alisson doesn't play, but we're covered with Tom Heaton. Bellerin, we don't think will play at Everton. Charlie Taylor, after Burnley keeping a clean sheet, is unlikely to get back into the Burnley team this weekend. So we need to move something here, mate. Now, we said this time last week, if Sergio Aguero dropped under 10% ownership, we would just fire that.
We don't know if he
is 9.9% owned at the time of recording.
But then we wouldn't keep Jesus and Aguero, surely.
Well, we can afford to.
No.
So it would be Aguero in for Jesus. Which
could we not go from Firmino to Aguero? Would it leave us a little bit short?
Firmino in just for that one game week. I think Firmino's a solid just leaving. We're going to go back to him, mate.
Okay. And we couldn't afford to go from Jesus to Aguero. We could, just about.
Of course we can, yeah.
But who's going to play?
I think the answer here is not to do it.
Not to do what?
Aguero. The biggest thing that
not this week
is the fact that there were a few City heads who did play at Oxford in the Cup in the week, including Sterling, who scored a couple. Gabriel Jesus was not one of them. So unless I get some clear indication that Aguero is fit and definitely starting, I think we still rock with Jesus this week.
Yeah, I think the bus team that you have is okay.
We still need to replace something in there. Essentially, we're probably looking at 10 players, yeah.
What about, I'm sure Neil Maupay is less than 10% ownership.
He absolutely
instead of Connolly, and that's a sideways move, but Maupay's been getting all of the minutes.
So we have 2.8 million in the bank. There's not a problem there. We can absolutely go Connolly to Maupay if that's what you want to do.
I can't see us changing any of the midfielders.
Defensively, we've got ongoing problems. That's my only concern. We've got ongoing problems defensively here with Taylor and Bellerin, possibly, until one of them comes back. It could be that we get the team news later and one of them's back. But a few defensive names to throw out that I listed. Johnny Evans doesn't feel like the right week. No. But I think he's one that will possibly come back and look to. Remember, these guys I mentioned are all under 10% owned. You got Baldock and Stevens from Sheffield United.
That's it, Baldock.
Willems, who your man mentioned on the live stream. Otamendi, I'm going to mention him again. You're going to ignore me again. Matt Target at Villa. Super Jan Vertonghen is the cheapest of the three. Obviously, Vertonghen's playing left back at the moment, but he's cheaper than Sanchez and Alderweireld, who signed a new contract this morning. Thank you, Toby.
Okay. What happened? They did a knee replacement, did they?
I guess no one else wanted him. Yeah, he's signed to 2023, actually, so that's a little while signed back on for. I think no. I don't think it's the right week for any of these players that I mentioned.
Nah, so, I think Maupay is potentially your best shout there.
Four in the midfield to mention as possible replacements for Tielemans if we wanted to take a hit here. Richarlison, you've mentioned. Jack Grealish, we've mentioned a number of times. Adama Traore, it doesn't. It's a good punt for tomorrow, but it doesn't feel quite right now.
I just don't think he's going to be net worth it.
Lucas Moura, 7 million.
Lucas Moura is one that I looked at to replace Pulisic with as a potential punt, but in the end, I've gone with the reliability of Richarlison. Lucas Moura he's a little tempter, isn't he? He's a bit of a fucking tempter, but we've got Dele Alli at the moment, so I wouldn't double up necessarily. I think if you were going to get rid of Tielemans, Richarlison would be my favourite choice.
Tielemans, unfortunately, has been a bit annoying for us. No returns in the last 5. Only the 1 assist against Arsenal in game week 12 since game week 10, where everybody scored against Southampton. And actually, otherwise, if you look back further than that, if you remove the anomaly of the Southampton fixture. It's only 1 goal and 1 assist for Tielemans since a goal and assist in game week 4 against Bournemouth.
Yeah.
I feel like their system's changed a bit, Leicester. I feel like we had a lot of debate 6 weeks ago, Maddison or Tielemans. And I kind of favoured Tielemans.
You did.
Because I felt like it was more of a 4-1-4-1, and Tielemans was the one who was really breaking into the box to support. I feel like system-wise, that's changed a bit for Leicester now. And tomorrow he'll certainly sit deeper away to Manchester City. So we could take a hit, get him out. Is that worth it?
No.
So we think Connolly to Maupay.
Connolly to Maupay. Maupay is what, 8% at the moment ownership, from my memory.
No, mate. No way. He's about 2% or something.
He's as low as that.
Yeah.
So then maybe Richarlison was
really is a differential.
1.6% ownership. That's ridiculous.
It is.
That is ridiculous. So is Richarlison that was 8.5. When I was looking at both of them, I mixed the two up. But I was glad that both were less than 10%. 1.6% is fantastic.
So that leaves us with, I think, 5 possible captain choices if we get Maupay in. I think we can include Maupay in that.
Yep.
Gabriel Jesus, home to Leicester. Wilfried Zaha at Newcastle. Is that ridiculous? Anthony Martial at Watford. Or Dele Alli against Chelsea. There's a growing move for people captaining Ali and Son in the Twitter community.
Dele Alli against Chelsea, based on his historic record, and you've said that he likes that fixture.
Martial at Watford.
No,
that's what I've got it bust on is Martial.
And the reason being, I think Nigel Pearson's going to be as much as United have been better, they still have, for me, the aura of a club that if you really get in their face and you really put in a physical performance, you can rattle them, and then they won't really like it.
I don't think it's the physical performance that gives United problems. I think it's when teams just say, "Go on and break us down."
Yeah, it could be. But I think Pearson's it's going to be a difficult game for Manchester United. That's why I'm not precious about getting Rashford in this week. I'm fine to wait until next week.
This goes all the way back for me with United this weekend to when we spoke about Watford going to Man City in game week 6 after Norwich had put up such a good defensive performance against Man City in game week 5. And in spite of whatever's happening with the change of manager at Watford, definite improvements. We spoke before that fixture. We obviously weren't predicting an 8-0. But we talked about Norwich forcing City into wide areas and not allowing those sort of inside channels that De Bruyne, David Silva pick up. I think if Watford play the same way that they played at Liverpool with Hughes and Capoue and Doucouré ahead, although it's stronger midfield, I'm not sure they can play a let's sit in and contain system with those individuals.
We've got a few people on the live chat. United can't break teams down. Don't captain a United. And that's a United fan. That's going to be a ball draw, Watford versus United from Marky Rose. I think I'm with him. That's why I'm not thinking. I think Dele Alli.
I'm a Spurs fan. I obviously hope Watford win this weekend, but I'm still going to captain Marcus Rashford.
Yeah. And I don't think it's illogical to captain Marcus Rashford. This is much more eye test and stats, really thinking, you know what, I don't think this game's going to go the way that people think it's going to go. Differential team, let's stick with Dele Alli. Correct.
Maupay in for Connolly.
Correct.
All right.
I'm good with that. Last thing that we always touch on, North v South. A crushing victory for my North team last week, despite me not doing anything. It goes to show how difficult this is. It was 32 points, and I'm now 80 points ahead of you overall. With the armband on Jesus, but Jesus, De Bruyne, Mane, Trent, Pope, Lundstrom, Vardy. So cleaned up
everything that I clawed back the previous week when I wildcarded my South team, which
almost all gone.
For new listeners or viewers, Suj picks a team from the 10 most Northern Premier League sides. I picked from the 10 most Southernly. It's fair to say that Suj has a far better pool of players than I do.
Well, I've got Liverpool and City and
Leicester and Wolves. Yeah, okay, great.
We should make this a handicap league.
So I've already made another transfer. I went early on this one as well this week, which I don't normally do. I'm not quite sure when I wildcarded the other week why Diego Rico wasn't in it. So I've amended that, got him in for Tomori, who's not getting minutes for Chelsea. I think with Rudiger back, if you're a Tomori owner, you probably unfortunately need to cut your losses on that. Now, team selection is really interesting for me this week. If you consider amongst all the problems of Who do I leave on my bench for these Liverpool guys? Obviously, for this Southern team of mine, it's not an issue. My benched 3 this week would currently be Mason Mount, Lewis Dunk, and Serge Aurier.
Yeah.
I'd be going with a 3-4-3 of Gator and Kelly for Palace double up, Rico, Matt Target home to Southampton, Zaha, Grealish, Son and Ali combo with I've got Ali captain. If anybody's wondering that one, which one? I think Ali's record against Chelsea is amazing, and I would benefit that for this fixture. Front 3 of Abraham, Danny Ings, and Aubameyang.
Okay.
Where do I get Mason Mount, Lewis Dunk, or Serge Aurier back in that team?
Maybe ahead of Jack Grealish for Mount, but Grealish has a good fixture. There's 6 of one, half a dozen of another there. Aurier, I don't mind you dropping Aurier. I think Chelsea have got the potential to score, and even Lewis Dunk. Sheffield United are definitely going to score. In my opinion, Sheffield United 100% going to score.
I think, for example, if you take that one, Rico and Lewis Dunk, it's actually quite a close call. And although their ownership numbers are not that different, Rico's actually 15% and Lewis Dunk 13%. It does feel like template-y wise, Rico's going to be in a lot of teams this weekend.
He is, but his ownership isn't that high.
That's what I said. That ownership wise, there's not a lot there between Rico and Lewis Dunk, but it feels like that Kelly, Rico, Lundstrom trio
could well be.
Is going to be in a lot of teams this weekend. I think one of the things I'd advise people if you're in a quandary about decisions this particular weekend, go with the template one.
Yeah.
I think an example of that would be Todd Cantwell, for example. I don't particularly expect him to return at home to Wolves this coming Saturday, but it's probably the one with 19.5% ownership. He's certainly in the top 20 owned players. I'd play him this week. I think if you've got those 3 Liverpool players or 2 Liverpool players sitting on the bench, just play.
This is the week where you could catch up quite dramatically on me because I have Sadio Mane, Trent, and Robertson all on the bench at the moment. Hanley.
You've got one defender.
Playing Lundstrom. Yeah, so Pope and Lundstrom, Hamza Chowdhury.
What have you done?
Dendoncker, Kevin De Bruyne, Cantwell, Vardy, Jesus, Rashford. That front line alone could destroy you this week.
My 3 guys on the bench might get more than your team this week, and I bet you still beat me.
Nah. I don't think so. I have 2 million in the bank, and I have 2 free transfers as well. So realistically, Robbo's going to go. If we look at it, Sadio Mane at 11.6 million. I'm not selling him at 12.2 to want to buy him back later. And the same for Trent. I've got more money tied up in Trent. So Robertson can go, and that will give me enough money. Robertson and probably Hanley will go, and I'll get myself 2 decent defenders and then leave it at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good luck, as ever.
As ever, indeed. And you set your Sky captains as well. Mine's Aubameyang, followed by Rashford, followed by next week Kane.
I'm going to go De Bruyne.
Yeah.
In Sky on Saturday, yeah, and I'll also be Rashford Sunday. We'll be doing. Our schedule's changing a little bit for next week. So shall I go through that now?
Yes, please do. Just so people know what to expect.
So the main podcast is now going to be live streamed on YouTube. Basically, I'm going to leave Spurs and come here straight away.
Yeah.
We're going to live stream around about 7:30 p.m. UK time with our main hour and a half podcast reviewing the weekend fixtures. The audio will go out for that later on Sunday night or very early Monday morning, but most probably Sunday night. Then we will do an extended Sky podcast on Tuesday, which will be about an hour long, looking at for the players who play the Sky Fantasy football game. Be about an hour's worth. We'll look at the remaining 3 game weeks over the Christmas period. And the people's poll is now not going to go out on Monday. We are going to record it on Sunday night because family issues are getting in the way, unfortunately. Mm-hmm. And that's now going to go out as an audio and video as a wrapped Christmas Day present for everybody.
Correct. Yes. When are you putting the tweet out for the poll?
I am going to put the tweet out for the poll at about 4 o'clock today, let's say, give people time to listen.
How long are you going to leave it live?
I will leave it live
tomorrow morning, 10, 11. Tomorrow morning's deadline, 11:30.
18, 20 hours, something like that.
Yeah,
I'll leave it live.
Jump on and have a vote for what we're going to do for the people's poll.
It's going to be very decade reviewy of the Premier League. It's going to be something for Christmas Day, very relaxed. We're going to look at perhaps some teams of the decade, best moments of the decade, that kind of thing. Vote for what you want.
And that will be that. And then we'll be back the week after, which is still kind of sort of a holiday week because we've got New Year's. We've got a full podcast twice that week, Monday and Friday.
We will be on it early Friday after the Boxing Day fixtures. Me and the wife are not talking about Boxing Day at the moment because I'm going to be sitting in the dark room watching everything on. I'm going to leave Spurs and then watch everything on Amazon Prime for the rest of the day. We will record early Friday, so you've got something up to date for the fixtures of the 28th.
Yeah.
We will also be live streaming on YouTube as our live viewing of the month will be during Brighton and Bournemouth at 12:30 p.m. next Saturday, which will include us getting incoming team news for the 3 o'clock games.
Yes.
Which will be quite interesting. And then we'll be going again on Monday the 30th, if I've got that right.
Yeah, I wonder if Manchild's going to come to the live stream.
On the 28th?
Yeah. Should we have a word?
Does he get out of bed at that time on Saturday?
He'll figure it out.
Yeah.
I might get to sleep here in the studio, something along those lines. Thank you for tuning into all the content this week. We hope you have a great FPL week this weekend. It's definitely going to be entertaining and fun. I'll be live. I'll be watching on Twitter as points are coming in or not coming in, and people's woes and happiness and all the rest of that kind of stuff. So we'll see you next week. Christmas shopping. Ciao for now.
Cue music, Such.
Cue music, James, this time.
Actually, probably will be cue music, James.
Yeah. Guys, thank you on the live stream. We've just turned the audio off. Yeah, Goreng, I need to get a USB mic because the mic is in the laptop. So when I type, it does click, click, click away, unfortunately. But we don't normally live stream. We're not used to the streaming game.
Manchild's fault.
Yeah, yeah.
Simple as that.
Thank you, Marcus, for your comment. He says, great content as always. We appreciate that. Really, really kind. Guys, have a great weekend on the live stream, and we'll see you next week.
Good luck, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers. Ciao.